With bats that weren't that hot, hit it right over the top of the batter's eye at 420.
Uh-oh. That gets past the center fielder, ball's fielded to the wall. Rhymes, he's around second. He is on his way to third. Will they send him? They're going to send him. Here he comes. Here's the throw home. Rhymes on the run. Tripped up and flipped. He will be awarded.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Welcome to the Bronx, Queens, Bros podcast, better known as the BQB Pod. Welcome to the show. I'm Big V. We got Big D, and here's Jack B. We got a bit of a different setup here because Big D is taking me to opening day as soon as we're done filming here because he decided to bet against Big V. I hit a home run in slow pitch softball. Nobody could say a thing. I did what I said I was gonna. I showed up, I showed out, and now I get to take Big D's money, and we're going to the game tomorrow, Thursday, 4 o'clock against the Miami Marlins. We're going to break down the opening series, but before we get into that, we're going to have a word from our sponsor. This episode is sponsored by one of the best-kept secrets in northern New Jersey, Engineering Design Concepts, a small company doing big things. They specialize in product development, manufacturing, and test equipment. If you or anyone you know need assistance in that field, they are the company you need to contact. The link in the website will be in the description below. Now, the Mets are opening up against the Miami Marlins, and the New York Yankees are opening up against the San Francisco Giants. Jack, what kind of pitching probables do we have coming up for us?
First of all, what's going on, guys? Can't believe you actually hit a home run, even though it's a little bit of a Mickey Mouse home run.
Jack, I got about it. This is just ridiculous. He hit it inside the. This dude is the slowest guy on the team. He hit it inside the Parker. Now I'll give it to him just for the listeners. It was a go-ahead inside the Parker in the top of the 7th, which is the last inning of our game. So, again, like, I was happy our team won, but now I got to take this guy to Miami. And our podcast isn't bringing in the finances to do that yet. This is stupid. I'm not having a good – it's not a good evening, good afternoon, or good night, or good morning, whatever you say.
It's all right, Dave. You're a man of your word. That's all that counts, you know?
Yeah, we're catching the fight.
You know what's even better? Dave has to edit all the stuff for me, even though I hit the home run. So it's even more work, and I won.
I'm just depressed thinking about putting that video at the beginning of this podcast. Like, obviously, the listeners or the watchers just watched that happen, and as you watch that, just know that I had to do that and just kick me while I'm down.
Absolute misery. But, yeah, super excited for opening day. I'm sure you guys are. You get to watch the game in person. That's awesome. But the Yanks kick off their first series in the Bronx against the San Francisco Giants. We have our guy Garrett Cole on the mound. Excited to see what he's going to have to offer after he's looked really, really good in his last couple spring training starts. And we got Logan Webb, a nice young pitcher for the Giants. So, yeah, over-under line set at 7.5. So super interesting. Usually not a lot of runs scored on opening day, but also not a lot of strikeouts. Usually a couple balls in play, a lot of weak contact on opening day. So I don't know. If you're a betting man, maybe look into that under. You got two good pitchers. Logan Webb got a sinker-cutter mix, so a lot of weak contact comes along with that. And, yeah, I'm thinking the under 7.5. How are we feeling about the Mets, V? And Dave.
Well, I'm excited to actually the pitching matchup, Cole versus Webb. I actually think the Yankees will hit Webb. I don't think the Giants are hitting Cole.
No.
But for the Mets, we got Mad Max on the mound against Sandy Alcantara. That's going to be a great pitching matchup as well. Alcantara just won the Cy Young, as we all know.
Now, V, I have a question. Are you surprised Scherzer instead of Verlander? Are we surprised?
So
and I know they set that up, right, with the preseason starts, but are we surprised they didn't set it up in a different direction?
Well, no. So, yes and no. The way they did this, though, is so the home opener, Verlander starting that one at Citi Field. So.
Oh, okay.
So, I kind of like it the way they did it.
Wait, so who's pitching? Do they have off Friday?
No, so it's a 4-game series. And then they have off, I believe, on Monday. Then they go to Milwaukee, and then they come to City, I think, the following Thursday.
But is Verlander pitching Friday?
Verlander's pitching Saturday.
So is Senga pitching Friday?
Senga is pitching Sunday.
They do have this Friday off.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, they have this Friday off, right?
Okay. No, they don't have this Friday off. They got a game this Friday. David Peterson.
David Peterson, wow.
Listen to the Mets fan. I'm the Mets fan. Get out of here.
Well, see, we're used to the East Coast series in March, April. They usually give us Friday off for the rain or the snow. You never know.
Yeah.
Baseball. But, yeah, how are we feeling? Do you think there's going to be a lot of runs in your game? How do you think it's going to go? 2 really good pitchers. Probably a lot of strikeouts, no?
I expect a low-scoring game here. I really do. Verlander stretched out. Alcantara stretched out. Both these guys like to throw a lot of innings. I won't be shocked if both go 7+, have a great game. It's going to be a pitching duel. It's going to be probably an hour-and-a-half game, honestly, with the pitch clock. It's going to be good. I'm going to be there, scream my ass off. I'm hoping Vogie hits a home run. We'll be in left field. We'll be in left field. If I'm going to catch you guys, I'm going to save Dave. I'm going to save him. Don't worry. I'm going to do it. I'm going to be on TV.
Are you going to rep? Are you going to rep for the Mets or no? You're just going to be an unbiased supporter?
No, dude. You know what I'm going to do real quick? I'm not going to rep the Mets. I'm not going to rep the Marlins. I'm going to rep the new BQB merch.
Oh,
all right?
Wow.
We're at least going to make this a business adventure. And, we're gonna talk some fans' ear off. But all kidding aside, I'm genuinely excited. I've never seen the Mets play live. I've never been to Miami's ballpark, so it's going to be a great time. Don't want to look at my bank account anytime soon, but I'm very excited for this weekend, and I'm happy for Big V. He deserves it.
Jeez, who do I have to call to get one of those shirts? God.
Big V. I was able to afford them because he paid for the whole trip.
Wow.
Yeah, saved him a couple bucks. Couldn't even hit it over the fence.
Wow, that wasn't a part of the rule.
It should have been.
You made the bet. Anyways, sorry. Let's get back to business. Stop being salty. So that is Thursday's pitching probables. Are the Yankees off on Friday?
I don't even know. That's a good question. I assume so. That's how it's been the last couple of years. I'm not exactly sure. That's a good question.
All right. While you look that up, I'm going to go over the Mets pitching probables on Friday.
Sure.
So for Friday, we got David Peterson, who was awarded the 5th starter spot, but pitching the 2nd spot here. I like that they're using a lefty to break up Scherzer and Verlander because they're both kind of power pitching right-handers. Throwing a lefty in the mix can really mess with a team, which is going to be fun. And they're facing Jesus Luzardo from the Miami Marlins, who's a guy I can actually see being flipped to the Yankees at some point this year. He's a big lefty. I like him a lot. I think it'd be fun to see that type of pitching matchup as well.
Cool. So, yes, Yankees are off. Their classic Friday off after their home opener. We got Sanford for 3. We got Clark Schmidt pitching on Saturday. That should be exciting. We've been hearing about Clark Schmidt for a long time, so hopefully he could finally put a full body of work out there. We got Alex Cobb going for San Fran. And then Domingo Germán will make his 2023 debut on Sunday against Ross Stripling. Then the Yankees they stay at home. Philadelphia comes in, and we have Nestor Cortez against Taijuan Walker, former Met. Look at that. And then it seems like they are already listing Matt Strahm as their starter for Tuesday the 4th, which is kind of, I don't know.
That'll be a high-scoring game. I will take a Judge home run on that game on any day.
Yeah.
Judge hits Walker like no other business. It's like the home run derby.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I do have a surprise, by the way. Sorry.
Okay.
Got a surprise. So, Dave bought tickets for opening day, right?
Right.
So, he paid for a lot of stuff. I felt bad. So, I wanted to reward him by watching another Mets game on Saturday. So, I actually bought us tickets to sit kind of behind home plate for Saturday to watch Verlander's debut against the Mets.
Keeps getting better and better, Jack. I gotta watch the Mets twice, dude.
So we'll be going there Saturday. Verlander versus Edward Cabrera.
Edward. Wow.
So that is a game I'm excited to see the Mets hopefully take the win to the bag. That's a game.
Wait, was that actually a surprise? Dave didn't know about that? Wow.
Dave?
You thought I would willingly go to 2 Mets games? I'm not willingly going to one. I mean, hey, who says no to live baseball, honestly? Sign me up for a 10,000.
Also a former Hall of Fame pitcher. I mean, a future Hall of Fame pitcher.
Yeah, dude, coming to a team, giving us a lot of content to talk about. I'm there for it. I'm excited. I am.
Absolutely. We got our Yankees correspondent in Miami.
Yeah,
there you go.
All I know is we're going to actually have some fun. I plan on actually trying to interact with some fans. We're going to see how successful I am or not. Follow us on the socials. That's how you'll know. And then on Sunday, we got Kodai Senga making his major league debut. He will be on a pitch limit, 90 pitches. Buck Walter came out and said, facing Trevor Rogers. So I could see that also being another high-scoring game. So this could be a fun series. I think the Mets should definitely take at least 3 or 4 here. I can see it being split, obviously, because the Marlins are a little pesky of a team. They got pesky players. I'm excited to see this series. What do you think, Jack?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Mets will take care of the Marlins. First game might be tough just because Sandy's so good. They kind of rally around Sandy when he pitches. But, I mean, besides that, I don't, the Mets should really dominate the series. But, we'll see. We'll see who comes out tough. And I know some of the Mets were on the World Baseball Classic, so was Sandy. So I'm kind of interested to see how that sort of dynamic will play out. Will, Pete and McNeil look sharper than the rest? And, Starling Marte looked really good in spring training. So I'm excited to see what he has going. Yeah, dude. I'm just super excited for another year of baseball. That's really all I can say. And know what else I'm kind of excited for? Jazz Chisholm in center field. I almost forgot about that. That's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting to see.
Cover of MLB The Show 23. I just picked it up, actually. So
Did you? Wow.
I did. Well, I got extra money now. Dave, what do you think? What are you excited for?
Dude, I'm excited to not only have baseball back, but to be seeing a live game. And I'm excited to see what teams get out to a hot start. I know these games seem so forgettable in the long run, but we talk about, I remember last episode, Jack, you brought in the Yankees' historic start. I mean, they seemed to catch fire and didn't let go of it until, later in the second half of the season a bit. But no, I think these are opening day. It's statement games, right? It's who's coming out, who's ready to play. And yeah, I'm excited to see. We talk so much about these two teams, and you guys, just listening to you, like, I've learned a lot, and I know some of the people who've listened have told me that you guys are telling them and teaching them a lot. So I'm excited for us too to keep going through this and having some actual more content to talk about as we can kind of scout out these players and talk about the future. So super exciting time. I'm happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, opening day, everyone has hope, right? Everyone's fan base thinks, at least we're all starting on the same, everyone's starting on a level playing field. Everyone's 0-0. So every franchise has hope. And then, from here, things go up and down and narratives get made and, players play and history is made every single day in baseball, 162 games. It's crazy, but it's just how it is. So, yeah. Super pumped for tomorrow. Super
I do
pumped.
have a question I'd like to form to you guys.
Sure, form it away.
If you could pick a player on the Yankees and the Mets for the opening series that you think is going to start off hot or, really pop off, I should say, during the series, who would it be? Jack, I'm going to start with you.
Yeah.
Who you think the Yankee player will be for the first series?
Before I answer that question, really quick, the Yankees signed what's his name? Frenchie Cordero?
Frenchie Cordero?
What?
Frenchie Cordero?
Cordero, yes. I say Cordone, yes. Cordero. So super interesting. It seems like they're gonna make some sort of move before opening day. Like, I think somebody's has to come off the roster. So I'm thinking it's either Florial is gonna be traded or IKF is gonna be traded. Or maybe we'll get lucky and Hicks is DFA'd. So super interesting there. Something it seems like is going to happen between now and before the game. But I'm super excited to see Anthony Volpe. I really hope the Yankees lead him off, but I doubt they will. I think they're going to have him batting ninth. But I think just based on how hot he's been in spring training, and it wasn't just like spring training is hitting like AA, AAA pitchers. He was doing well off major league pitchers. Like he was playing towards the end of spring training where the best players are playing, facing, starting level pitchers, aces, just normal major league talent pitchers, relievers as well, with nasty stuff. And he held his own. So I think just from picking up where he left off, I'm super excited to see Anthony Volpe. I think he kind of keeps it hot and keeps it up for them. And on a similar note, I think for the Mets, it's got to be Starling Marte, who, I think getting injured at the end of last season kind of sucked for him. And it seemed like he was kind of finding his own towards, the later stages of the season. And then, gets injured and is fighting back. And you could tell it really wasn't the same towards the end of the season. But he had such a good spring. He was absolutely hitting the cover off the ball. So I'm thinking maybe he has a good opening series against the Marlins. I know Sandy's tough on righties, but I think Luzardo's a good matchup for him. So, yeah, I'm going Starling Marte.
Okay.
For the Mets. What do you think?
Dave?
Yeah, so I actually have, I feel like some maybe good answers here. I'm going to start with the Yankees. Jack, you talked about him a lot, or a little bit last episode, but I'm looking at Josh Donaldson here. All right, we've talked a lot, mostly because I just wanted to hear you say that again. But we've talked a lot about how, there's some hype developing over spring training a little bit. I feel like a knock against the Yankees when you listen to like media personalities and stuff the past couple years. Jack, you're right. It seems like they don't have a heart or that grit to win games. And Josh Donaldson plays at a level where he can provide that and not do some nonsense stuff like he did last season. I think that can bode very well for the Yankees. And then the Mets, I think it's kind of an obvious answer, but I hope we get to see a save situation. Because I really think if the Mets come out and handle that situation well up front at the beginning of the year, it's going to settle a lot of anxieties that the Mets fans are going to have.
Yeah.
So whether it's David Robertson, even the setup guys, the 7th, 8th inning relievers, I think it's the bullpen towards the back end of the game that I'm really looking for the Mets to come out hot to start the season.
That's a good point. And just let me cut in, V, before you go. Because in New York, it almost becomes a thing with the fans where if you can kind of sense, like if this goes awry and then it comes home and they have like a safe situation where the fans get anxious and then you can kind of feel that on the field and it turns into this thing like a revolving door of closers and who's it going to be this time? And then then Buck starts getting asked questions about it, right? And the players get frustrated about it. And then it's like a whole thing. So I think Dave makes a great point. If they can establish a closer and it's just lights out 1, 2, 3, and they can kind of just open and shut the book on that, I think that would go a really long way.
Yeah, can you imagine the turmoil? And I might be there to witness it. I hope it doesn't. But imagine the turmoil if the Mets are put into a safe situation in the first, second, or third, any of these upfront games, and it's a blown save.
Yeah.
It's just not going to bode well, and you don't want to lose confidence in a guy right away, but it's going to be a conversational topic, and I know we'll talk about it, so we won't be the only ones. But, V, let's hear your answer. Who are you looking at?
Oh, boy, this is a fun question. I posed it, and I like it. So, for me, I'm actually going to pick Anthony Rizzo. I actually think Rizzo's going to go deep on opening day. He's going to go deep tomorrow. I think he's the perfect type of hitter that could take Logan Webb deep. The hot stove is always cooking up takes. And I'm telling you right now, take an Anthony Rizzo home run. So I feel like he's going to hit him. I feel like it's going to be a good game for him. I think he's going to have a great series. That's my pick. For the Mets, I originally had Marte, but after you mentioned it, my mind kind of changed. And I'm going to go with Danny Burgers, Daniel Vogelbach. So he should probably only start 2 of the games, as he's only going to start against righties, and the Mets face 2 lefties in the 4-game series. So I think Vogie's going to go deep tomorrow. I'm excited for Vogie to get a hold of one.
Like that, V. Plus 600 on Anthony Rizzo home run. So if you're a betting man and you're a fan of the hot stove, maybe lock that in. That's a nice, profitable bet.
Yeah.
And any like last anything to wrap up? Kind of your feelings as a Met fan heading into the start of the season? What you're feeling? Are you anxious? Are you excited more? Or how are we feeling?
It's do you remember that feeling you get when first at bat of a season? When you used to play baseball, it's that. It's nervous, it's excitement, it's anxious, it's everything, and it's everything at once, and I'm all for it. I love it. I can't wait for the season to get started. I can't believe I'm going to be there for the season to start.
Great.
Even better.
2 games, that's great.
So I'm a diehard Mets fan. I love baseball. I'm not a Yankee hater. Let me just put that out there. So I'm excited for both teams to get off to a great start. I want both teams to do well. All right, no one cares. So you know what that is? You know what that is?
You gotta be kidding me! That's 3 gallons of bullshit in a 2-gallon bucket.
It's 3 gallons and a 2-gallon. Jack, that was
I mean, I think I've been pretty fair to the Mets.
I'll give it to you.
I'm not really a hater. I like to bust their fans because their fans are delirious. But
so, can I just say what I'm excited about?
Sure, Dave. I forgot to ask you.
I'm not going to plug our socials like I usually do. I'm going to go ahead and plug the GoFundMe I just set up at BQB Podcast because Miami's expensive as hell, especially when you do it last minute. And again, we're not getting the revenue I was hoping for. So
we'll get there.
We'll get there, and it all starts when this airs, which will be tomorrow, opening day.
Let's go Mets. Let's go Yankees.
All right, we'll catch you guys.
Have a good one.